Hi, it's Heather with another installment of R-Rated Reviews, and this one is not your typical tool. It's just the most impressive piece of pretty cheap equipment I've ever purchased, and I have virtually nothing negative to say about it. In fact, I want to get another one. So, it's my wheelbarrow. Let me tell you about this bitch. She's no joke. 10 cubic feet, which means 10 cubic feet, 3 of those wheelbarrows is a yard. And so she's a little wonky right now because I've had her for 2 years and I literally beat the ever-loving shit out of this poor wheelbarrow on a daily basis. So I want to show you the features. There are a few, and right now I deliberately left the load that's in there so I can dump it. I'm weeding my garden. That is just insane because I don't have time to take care of my own house. And anyone who is familiar with central New York will know that in the springtime, everything's mud, except we don't have a lot of dirt. It's fucking clay. So a yard of topsoil dry is about 2,000 pounds. Wet, God only knows. 2, 3, whatever. This is clay. Let me bring this with me. These are huge chunks. Holy shit. There's about, I'm going to say, if that's a third of a yard, I'm going to say the 700 pounds of debris, of grass and clay, wet clay, because it's been raining. And I wanted to show you the reason I left it like that is because of the leg on the front. This thing, where is it? This thing helps me flip it over. You can actually put it like, it's like a stand. Once I dump it, I'm going to tell you why she is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me. I'm just filling in this area, so hang on one second. This is fucking heavy, really fucking heavy. So you may have a good laugh because I don't edit my videos. If I lose control of it, you're going to watch me make a bigger fool of myself than I normally do. So, oh, there we go. It may just go down the hill on me. Ah. Okay. So, I guess Todd left my fucking tool in the wheelbarrow. So, it'll stand on those front legs. So, when I'm doing mulch sometimes, I can just pull out what I need so I don't kill plants. This is how much it's holding. This is pretty heavy. Now that she's empty, I'll show you why she's wonky and what is so awesome about her. Got her at Tractor Supply 2 years ago when I was on probably, to this day, it still tops the hardest job I was ever on. I had to take down a concrete cinder block shed in the clay, in the mud, and the tractor was getting stuck. I had to put pallets down. I wound up having to rent a dingo. After the shed, the war bunker was taken down, the concrete pad needed repair, so I had to build forms and do concrete repair. 80-pound bags of concrete, 50 yards into the back of the house, through the clay. On a 90-degree day, I thought I was going to die. The poor kid that worked with me that day, I doubled his pay because he saved me from dying that day. I Googled what type of wheelbarrow will go through the mud, and they said a 2-wheel wheelbarrow. So this one has 2 wheels in the front. They're not the permanent ones. They are filled with air, and I think maybe in the spring after one winter, one of the wheels was slightly deflated, but it wasn't a hole, so I just blew it back up, and it's been fine since. The reason she's wonky, let's see if I show you, is because of the shit beating she got. This is 10 cubic feet. It's fucking huge. Now, I drilled holes in the bottom of mine because I was on another ridiculous job. I just needed the water to drain out of the mud. She's missing a bolt on the front. This piece here, I done broke it. I had to smash it back into shape. So I was doing a patio job, and I just had one more load of stone dust to bring, and I had to hand dig the patio because it was under a tree with roots. I said, yeah, I can put a patio in under a tree, sure. And so I needed to bring another load of stone dust, and I just didn't want to dump it into the trailer and then have to shovel it back into the wheelbarrow and dump it again. So I filled the wheelbarrow with, now stone dust is also about 2,000, I think it's 2,000 pounds per yard. So it was 700 or 800 pounds that was in this wheelbarrow, standing on the back of the trailer. And I got about 5 miles from my house. I knew it was stupid. I know. And I looked in my rearview mirror and something just looked off. So I pulled over and I had completely buckled one of the legs. And it was because it didn't break. This thing just bent. That's it. It was still standing. She didn't collapse. So what I wound up doing is I took the bolts out. I smashed it back as flat as I could. She went right back together, and she's been working fine since. The only downside that I have to this wheelbarrow, which has a super easy fix, is that the bolts are constantly loosening, and they didn't come with lock washers. And I have been saying for 2 years I'm going to get lock washers. Well, I haven't. So I bought JB Weld. I'm going to try to weld the bolts on and see how that works, because I just don't feel like finding the sizes. So right now we have one loose bolt that's in the wheelbarrow with a flat head, and I just have to tighten so the legs are a little loose. This thing is just such a beast. I think it was like $229. That was like 2 years ago at Tractor Supply. It has saved me on more occasions than I can even tell you. The fact that it has 2 wheels and that it's oversized gives you much better leverage. You can carry ridiculous amounts of shit in this wheelbarrow. It really, I think I've tipped it or almost tipped it on occasion. It's a much easier recovery with that second wheel. One wheel, that thing can flip over. It's just it holds an incredible amount of weight. Now the plastic on it, it is plastic. And knock on wood, I hope I don't jinx myself. With what I've done to this thing, it hasn't cracked. So it is a hard plastic, but it has like just enough rubber type that it's sort of flexible. So I will take the end of this and I will lift it onto the edge of my trailer so I can get the mulch in without spilling it, or I'll put the edge of it and I flip it over into the trailer and just let it go. I sometimes, if I have too much weight and I've got to get up the ramp, I take a running start and I go as fast as I can and I get this bitch up the ramp into the trailer and then I heave it over. So it's upside down and it flips over. Those legs in the front have saved me on so many occasions. I want to get another one of these. I want to see if they make them a little smaller because I don't need another 10 cubic feet of wheelbarrow. And to give you a comparison of the size of this thing, because it might be hard to judge, I'm going to get my little regular yard cart, which is decent, but you have to pull it, and I don't like it so much. I'm so used to looking at this big wheelbarrow that it doesn't seem that huge to me anymore. But every time I show up at someone's house with it, they're like, holy shit, that's a big wheelbarrow. So my little smart cart that I use for home stuff has a 250-pound capacity. And there it is. Look at the difference between these two. That is a monster wheelbarrow. Now, go to Tractor Supply to buy it. Don't try to use their website because the website sucks and their app is only a step up from sucks. But they still have them. I don't know if the prices change with inflation. I would like to see if I can get like a 5 cubic foot if they have it. And I have extra nuts on the back. That's not really helping lock it. That is the only issue. I also think I plan on I got a bug in my eye. I also plan on reinforcing this bar. The bar is pretty strong, it's pretty sturdy, but I think what I'm gonna do is try to get some rebar and get another piece on the opposite side so that those legs stay a little stronger. I cannot believe what I've done to this wheelbarrow, what I've used it for, and how badly I have kicked the shit out of it. And it just never dawned on me to tell people what a great wheelbarrow it is. So if you have a need for one, and you need one with 2 wheels will save your life. And that bar in the front that lets you flip it so it doesn't go all the way over. So sometimes you can pull dirt and mulch out in the capacity that you want it. This is the best thing I have ever used. And I cannot believe that at the time I was mad that I had to spend like $229 on it. And now I would buy another one. It is the best tool that I have. I love it. It is irreplaceable. If you guys have questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. If you want to hit like and subscribe, I would love that. Have a great day.